Hey everyone, Dylan here with a quick announcement before we get into this episode. We are approaching once again Whispering Ashes season, and actually last weekend we've just finished recording all 4 episodes. They're quite chunky episodes, they're a little bit longer than our usual ones, and because of that, we need a little bit more time to edit them. So instead of the episode 49 drop that you're probably expecting today, please instead enjoy the Backstage Pass from episode 48. There were a lot of big reveals and theory crafting in that episode, and we go into even more detail in this, what is normally a Patreon exclusive episode. So yeah, we thought, give you all guys a chance to get up to speed. If you are of the theory crafting persuasion, I think you'll really enjoy this one. So yeah, check that out. And as a reminder, if you like that episode, for only the price of a cup of coffee a month, and not even a fancy Starbucks one, just like a regular normal one in like your local non-bougie coffee shop, you can get access to these episodes over on our Patreon, and you get the access to the full back catalogue. We've done about 20 of these Backstage passes, so yeah, plenty to get your teeth stuck into. You get access to them all for a really cheap price a month, and it's a really great way of supporting us, so that would be great if you want to do that. And of course, if you wanted to check out the higher tiers, you get stickers, access to cons callouts, and of course, t-shirts every quarter. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Go check that out. But if not, you know what? There's a lot of cool stuff in this one, so you should just enjoy it anyway. We're going to be back next Sunday, the 6th of October, with the first episode of Whispering Ashes 3, and then every Sunday in October, bringing you the conclusion of the Whispering Ashes saga. Yes, that's right, it is a saga, so if you wanted to do, check out Whispering Ashes 1 and 2 again, why not come over to our Discord, where we're going to be doing a bit of a listen along, join in on the conversation, and, kind of recap on what's happened before we get into the final installment. That's enough from me anyway. Enjoy this theory crafting heavy Backstage Pass for episode 48. We're going to be back in that one in November for the final showdown of this Feywild arc. Until then, have a happy spooky season, and we'll catch you around.
Fuck.
All right, just it's gonna be one of these Backstage passes, guys, where I just
Here's the stitch.
sit back here, put my poker face back on.
Can I have
I got
some?
it worked out this time. I do. I've got it.
Can I have some
fucking-
sweeties?
Of course, you can have sweeties, my little sweetie.
Thank you.
I need answers and sweeties in equal measure. She's them me. Right. Look, he knows, and he knows I know. This little kinder child.
Little
He
kinder
knows
child.
and he thinks you're wrong.
He doesn't, because I'm right. And the worst bit about it all is the linchpin is something Dylan said that hasn't been said to Bren in character yet.
What's that?
When he was ranting about what the Faust said,
I
he was like,
don't say things just to say them, guys.
no, but you didn't say it in a way Bren could hear.
Which thing?
He was
About
like,
the smorgasbord?
it's a sandwich, not a smorgasbord.
I know.
And it's the realms stacked on top of one another, like
I know.
this. And your big needle went through them. And all the portals opened. And Bren was like, "Rah!" And all this energy from a fireplace came through.
Because you're Kal-El.
He winked at me, listener.
That pen is your spaceship.
I weren't on it, but I was just a little baby. And the energy came whooshing through me. In the womb.
Maybe.
I think you're not from somewhere else.
No, I'm from that one, but the energy got pushed in the womb.
Yeah, the same way that happened to
A lot of things.
Balthazar and son.
Yeah.
Balthazar!
especially.
Belagor!
Yeah, that's it.
Balthazar!
But it was ordained by the fucking...
Oh, we're getting into not quite spoiler territory,
Yeah,
but like
stop saying it, because that's part of...
that's part of Bren's backstory
That's
that
part of
me and
Bren's
you
backstory
know
that we know, but
I don't
no one
even
else
know
knows,
Yeah. So let's
Fuck
not.
y'all.
Yeah, I can't go any further.
No, but that'll come out at some point.
Yeah, Bren came out with little horns.
You did, little tail.
Sid was going to need to do some things when we get out of here. One of which he doesn't want to do.
Talk to his mom.
No, he always loves his mom.
Okay, what's the?
Go to a temple.
Why is he? Oh, he's going to go to an Ione temple.
Go try and talk to her.
To Ioun?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sid doesn't like the gods.
Commune with Ioun.
Be
Yeah.
like, yo.
Can't believe it's taken me 40 something episodes, but I'm finally getting the fucking God plot in a little bit.
I
It was
thought
so big at the start.
Fucking tell me about it.
Also, holy shit, that callback to episode 2. There's one of those moments where you're like, oh, that DM though.
And it's very funny because in that episode, I make a big deal. Because obviously that was like 2 years ago. So I'm so aware that it's like, I'm going to make this such like a big comment that I know just naturally
We're going to gravitate
you
towards
as players are going to forget about it. Because it's, by the time it's in any way relevant, it's going to be so
long ago.
so long ago. But I think in the episode, I made a point of saying, you see, there's a large spire casting a shadow over the docks, almost as if the DM is foreshadowing something. I fully just say it, and so it's very funny to say if people are doing a binge of it, and it's
It'll be much
only
more fresh in their
a couple
head.
of weeks, they're gonna be like, oh, it's that thing. That's what he. Yeah.
so. We're gonna have to go back there.
What the fuck is it? And who's
Because-
strong enough to fucking drive something through reality? Oh! And when it was driven through reality, did it kill Lou? Or did it... Oh!
I thought you figured something out there. I was like, what the fuck? No.
I think maybe I did. I'm trying to think. It's... Because no one mortal is going to be strong enough to do something like that. I
Yeah.
don't think. That's interplanar power, like...
That's a fair assessment. Yes.
And gods wield interplaner power.
Yeah, like I don't think that's a Hootsman thing that he's done. I think
No,
he took
he's
an
capitalizing
opportunity.
And
on
also specifically, when you talked to Tyler about this,
I love that. Like, universal, multiversal stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, Tyler said...
that it's been there for as long as anyone knows. All attempts to interact with it, market anything have all failed.
because it's otherworldly.
Yeah,
No one fucking knows.
because it's made out of kryptonite.
I'm trying so hard here.
I literally just watched Man of Steel a couple nights ago.
Man of Steel is a good movie.
It's actually a good movie. I hated it when I saw it in theaters.
I don't know if it's a great Superman movie.
I think I wanted more out of Superman.
I just
but, like,
loved that 30-minute or so, not even a montage, but where he's just going across America saving people.
yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's a very different Superman story, and so it threw me off a bit when I think when I first saw it, and I also didn't like how chaotic the fight was, which is always very different from Superman. But then they made a very poorly executed story on the back of it, and I think had a better screenplay writer written the other movies that came out of Man of Steel, I think we would have had a very cool plot line there. But
I just want. I've yet to enjoy a Superman film.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's give to people what they want.
But a rewatch of Man of Steel, I think, was good.
We can talk about Superman afterwards. But
Yeah,
have
don't
have you
distract me.
finished? What else are you?
see, I tried to purposely distract you.
As good
But-
as good listening, yes. In my head, no, because it's you got. I'm trying to. How can I know the answer when I do not yet know the question?
See, I don't
Basic,
think
but-
it's a thing that we would know.
Ryan,
yet.
the universe is singing to me here. Would you just stop for a second?
Universe.
The universe is singing to me.
I don't think it's a thing we would be able to figure out on the godly realm yet. I think there's things we're gonna be like, oh, that's cool, but I don't think we know the big bad.
I
yet.
think
We
the
don't.
clues are all fucking there.
No, but we don't.
And
know
I think a lot
we
of
just
them are
agree
in
that we don't
Khan's
know the big bad.
prologue. I don't think we know the big bad, but I think the clues are there that we could probably take a guess. And I think that we're not looking at everything. We're looking at the granular little details. We're looking at okay, well, this is what's happening with the realms, and this is what's happening with the Hoots Force, and this is what's happening with the gods. But it's all one big fucking sandwich, right? Where you've got the gods something's going on with the gods. That's what we know the least about, right? But we also know that on the mortal plane, there's the cult of division was active, and from everything they did something that fucked the planes up, right? And maybe they did that by influencing what the gods are doing. Maybe the cult of division was like, hey, yo, influence those gods, and those gods were like, fuck you, Lou, stab, stab, stab. And then Lou was all like,
I think the cult of division
and then
is influenced
the
by the
Hootsman
gods.
was like, hey, there's a gap, a void of power, and he's all like, I'm going to take Lou's body and I'm going to channel it so I can do what I want with this magic. And then he gets all that fucking magic and he's like, zoom, 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 power. I'm going to go do this ley line and I'm going to do an even bigger power. Boom. And then, you know, because of that, then he's able to take all the power from all the realms and do an even bigger spell or something. But it's going to be everything tied together, and we have a little bit of everything. So if we can just like take 2 points of everything and be like, well, this started here and went here, and this started here and went here, and this started here and went here, and then see where they all fucking point in the middle, then we'll know.
I don't think we will. I don't think we've met enough people yet to know.
I think we've met everyone we need to, and we're being soft about this.
I don't think we've met the big bad.
Well, we haven't met the Hootsman yet.
Yeah. I think now that we're getting into the God stuff, we will start to. I think we've met a lot of people that have been influenced by it, including Sphinx Lady. And I think that story, which plays out with who killed the dragon, you know, we know the Hootsman killed the dragons and things like that. But I think there's a lot of influence on the Hootsman and power granted that I think we're going to get once we start doing the God thing, because obviously this Lou character, see, in Khan's prologue, it's actual Lou, you know, that is
Lou
working.
is giving him his shields and stuff. To begin with.
Something happens and they stop getting the power. And I think that is the point where Lou dies.
Yeah, no, Lou dies
And that's
either
when
immediately
the Hootsman,
before that battle or during that battle. But
and that's when the Hootsman came into power.
we know the Realmatic breach happened before Lou died, I think, because the dragon that attacked him is a monster. It's not a pure dragon. It's got like energy from another realm running through. Ah! We just met a big black dragon in the cave.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dragons are the keepers of the realms. They always have been.
Are they?
Well, I mean,
Is
like
that-
we've got the
Have we got that Lethuan confirmed? Sorry.
like
I mean, you're as good as told that there is a cabal of dragons ruling Lethwan.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. By keeper of the realms, I thought you meant like that it would be a grand dragon for Lethuan, a grand dragon for the Fae,
Hey,
a grand
who
dragon
was
for
who was Stormzy's girlfriend?
yeah,
a big
she-
dragon of air.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
See.
So
Now there was the dragon of knowledge, which would be tied to Ayun or whatever, and that was the one that was killed.
okay.
Along, you know, so I think
So
there
you're
are
saying that-
dragon cabals that are tied to each god in that way, and the gods themselves would be keepers of certain realms.
Okay. Well, I mean that makes sense, but I mean,
So that's why the Hootsman, the killer of dragons, would be working in tandem with this other force that is trying to take down the other gods and take their powers.
that makes all the sense. All the
Yeah.
sense.
It's Jesus Christ.
So tired of it.
Superstar.
Trying to make it a monotheistic realm.
I'm not baiting it.
That's why I think we know the Hootsman, but we don't know his warlock.
that he's
patron.
like the final, the face Final Fantasy body, and then there's still the fucking Eldritch horror. That's
Yeah.
What? Me being influenced by Final Fantasy? That would never happen.
yeah. See, we've met the disciples.
yeah.
We know of Jesus, but we haven't met God. It's all just Catholic.
And so, from my point of view, right now, this is so exciting for me because it's like it is fully up to you guys now as players and as characters to start exploring this. So I'm going on record here to say, as DM, my intention is not necessarily to start placing plot in front of you. This is going to be like, I feel as a DM, I've given you guys enough hints. Because I clearly have, even just from listening to you guys talk there and what you're just thinking about. I think you have enough in-world stuff to start going on, to start making connections and findings, and it's very exciting for me.
So, Jim, what we need to be aware of is that
If you make another Christian joke,
I will always make them, but also it also is kind of the same. But what we need to be aware of is that our goals are parallel to each other, but we do have different reasons why we want to figure out what is going on, which will result in different things we want to prioritize. Sid wants to know about the God piece. That sounded really berserk. I think it was just because the God hand. That's what
real
the God hand. I was staring at my berserk books as I was. But like to get information about the Hoots force to kill them and find his dad. That's what Sid wants. And so Sid going to talk to Ayun is going to be about, hey, why would the Hoots force give you up for this other one? To get more information about them, so to find that. Whereas you're going to want to find out more about the realms.
Yeah, 100%. Like you're worried about like almost like the political side of it, whereas Bren, it's purely interest in like the arcane and the natural side of it to try and work out like where in this great leaf pile do I come from.
So I think what we should do is probably separate, like, spend like some time focusing on what you want to learn, then spend some time focusing on what.
I feel like the answers to both will come very, very close together. So
yeah,
there's two lines of inquiry. What, like your line is going to be to, what is it, Ayun? Ayun might not reveal much about what I want to know.
Yeah.
But I feel like just in this, from seeing this second portal, Bren is, because he already had a very strong inkling he came from another realm. That's why he dove into the Feywild immediately that last time. So for him to then see that like you can access further realms by going deeper down the leaves is going to be like, that's what he wants to investigate now. And if that means going back to Lethuan and working out what all these breaches are and who's harnessing what power for where, then I guess he's just pretty lucky that he ended up in a group with Sid, who's like one of the foremost experts at the moment.
Yeah.
He's going to want to talk to Stormzy, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Stormzy knows a lot. Well, I also...
Or at least Stormzy's girlfriend.
Do I still have a copy? No, I wouldn't. I would have given it all up.
Of Stormzy's thesis?
Yeah.
I would say if you wanted to... You've probably made a copy of it.
That's a shitty thing to do. That's very against...
You would have read it, though.
I would have read it a lot, yeah.
You definitely have the cliff notes of it.
Yeah, you mean...
Because Stormzy gave me permission to read it.
Mm-hmm. And I think because it was like... Because you theorize what about it,
And I would have read it a lot.
You would have read it a lot.
I was studying.
And then, you probably would have referenced it in your studies and your thesis that, I'd say you probably have. If you want to have a copy of it, you do. That's fine.
Okay. I wasn't sure how many books I could have it on my recorder.
Yeah. I mean, you just have like it's only like maybe like 40 pages or something,
Can I have a book of holding?
Oh, like
that's fun.
Unlimited
like
pages.
Kindle.
That's kind of
It's
just a fantasy.
It's a Kindle.
Yeah, we can make that happen. Okay.
And a bonus action.
No. Ryan has been fucking begging me for some reason. He's like, just give me an item that gives me 2 bonus actions, and I will never, ever. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
But I could
I know.
break a ranger
Exactly.
with 2
That's
bonus
why
actions.
I'm not doing it.
I have broken a ranger with the bog standard array of actions.
Yeah, it's why I purposely am giving you more choices and things to do with your bonus action, so you have to make like tough choices within it.
I know.
Right.
Is it a case of that it should be a smorgasbord? So here's my diagram. All the realms should be like this, next to each other. So there's relatively free travel between them, and all that kind of stuff. And then somebody was like, "Fucking realm kebab," and pinned all the realms in a set order. Because whenever we see like shit jumping between the realms, it always follows that order, and that's because the realms are now held in place in a stack by the big sliver.
And
somebody
it's not
popped that
quite
there.
as direct like that because the elemental planes
That's what. Yeah, you've got elemental planes, and obviously like stuff like the Feywild, and I would assume Shadowfell.
Because we had to go from one to we went from one to the next.
Yeah.
But we were able to get from the last one back to Lethwan directly.
But also the elemental realms are going to be different to the. I mean the Feyrealm and Shadowfell, and I'm assuming like Infernus and stuff. They're not exactly elemental realms.
Kind of, though. They're different realms of influence on Earth.
But they're different from like the realm of fire or the realm of water and stuff.
So to metagame this slightly, because obviously you guys could just fucking open up the DMG and look at this at any point, and our listeners can do that too. Fuck, our listeners probably know some of this better than I do, you know? The Feywild and the Shadowfell are reflections of the material plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
The elemental chaos is like a circular thing that like is usually depicted as like a ring around the prime material and its reflections, and then things like Avernus, fucking Mount Celestia, all of those other outer planes are then again outside.
So it's like a big gyroscope.
Yes.
I bet there's 5 spires.
Do you think?
Yeah. I bet there's 5 spires.
Why 5?
Thinking about the diagram of the ley lines.
Yeah.
And there were 5 spokes off of it. Because I made the joke about, is it a
'Cause
Wiccan star?
Oh yeah.
And you said, no, it's not.
It's not a Wiccan star.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a supernatural with it.
Even though it's... But you did say it
Full
was
Metal
5
Alchemist with
pointed.
it?
Yeah.
You did say there were 5 spokes off of it.
No, there's 4.
4. Okay, then there's 4 spikes.
Which could be
The Northern Colosseum. The whatever it was in the DLC.
Yeah, no, I just
Or Mausoleum.
I can't see. I mean, they're definitely like 4 definite points then, but like if
One through the elemental,
one was
one through Shadowfell and Feywild.
and then you've got. I suppose you could look
Infernus
at Avernus and Mount
and-
Celestia as extreme opposites in which case, but then
And then one for the chaos one.
oh yeah, or one for like Lethwan itself as the center.
But I think they're all pinning. It's pinning all of them to
Lethwan.
Lethwan.
But again, I'm harking back to this sentence. But a sandwich over a smorgasbord implies that they've all been stacked. So my question is it like
No, because he says it's
multiple
not
stacks?
a sandwich; it's a smorgasbord.
No, he said it's not a smorgasbord. It
it's a
should be a
sandwich.
smorgasbord. It's a sandwich.
He said it's a sandwich, but it should be a smorgasbord.
Oh, I see.
Hence
Okay.
my diagram of they should all be laid out a certain way, but instead they're squished together.
Okay. I mean, maybe, but I'm just thinking if there's 4 ley lines.
Jim, you want something?
Yeah,
Do you want something?
yeah.
The other thing is,
You might say that they should be divided.
Cult of Division. Oh.
See,
Okay, so they're all stuck together, but the Cult of Division was trying to like tear them apart. Maybe the Cult of Division is trying to put things back the way they should be.
Just gonna leave that one with you there to make more questions than answers. And I think that's where we're going to leave this one because
see, but look,
it's getting long.
there's Superman, Supergirl, Superboy, and Crypto.
And you got to think that, you know, there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, but they are
And man.
all one.
And
you
man.
know, and man, yeah.
So that's the 4.
Yeah. And then Mary as the mother makes the 5.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's 5 again, but
Yeah, we said it wasn't 5.
I've just broken Jim. Okay, that's it. We're done. Until next time, and until another few episodes, until more information gets revealed. But until then, they have to fight a big shadow dragon. Woo!
But in Lethwan, the beasts and the mutations are new. So it would imply that like that hasn't existed before, or if it did, it was before somebody.
Yeah, I mean, just the because what we saw in all the mutations, those are all coming from different elemental planes or different things like that.
Yeah.
So like the big old centipede was elemental realm influence.
what made a big centipede? What realm? Because my
was
question
the
now
fire
is it just yes? Because it was
fire and
fire.
ice.
It was yeah. So we've got like
sorry,
fire
we
and
aren't
ice.
we aren't stopping. 'Cause
There's-
they're still talking. They're still talking.
So
It's
you've got
great.
the elemental realm. My big question is, again, coming back to a sandwich and a smorgasbord, is the sandwich, because we were able to travel from Lethuan directly into the Fey realm, which would suggest that it's not one sandwich, because we would then have to go like, whatever the order was, like rock, fire, air, water, Fey realm, Shadowfell. If it was one big stack. But instead, we came back out into Lethuan, which makes me think that each of these realms now stacked. And why is it that the energy wasn't able to seep through before? Because if we look at, well, as Dylan has said multiple times, Lethuan as like an alternate history for...
Because the longer the hole is open.
Yeah, the longer the hole is open, right? But so...
And the problem is that the ley lines have been built, which are new. And when the ley lines are built, they start funneling
The
energy from them.
I will just
I think he's harnessing
Specify-
pre-existing ley lines.
the ley lines on the highways have been built.
Yeah, so it's a Full Metal Alchemist situation where the magic is there, the highway is just a big old glyph or something that's channeling it, right? And if
Yeah, and this is something that you guys have at previously.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
meant. Like, is that the highway is what's channeling it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I mean by the
and if the
like
highway,
a ley line can exist, but until it's tapped, it's
the highway is in the
Exactly.
4 cardinal directions, right?
Yes.
a ley
So-
line's not a ley line, so it's tapped. Really,
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like
So
Yeah.
my thinking is more so that it's not that there's going to be 4 pins, but more that if this dude stretches these things to the 4 cardinal directions, that gives him the widest net to pull in magic from everywhere. So if you look at Lethuan, it's like just a 45 degrees. So the north and the west one are pulling in everything between north and west, and he's got a big net there. So it's not that there's a point due north and a point due west. It's that those two in tandem will suck in all the magic into the highway that'll then just suck it into Valega. He's nodding. He's nodding.
It's not typically how ley lines work, but okay,
Okay. Well, I think that's what's happening here.
okay.
I think ley lines...
Ley lines typically
It's not
are-
exactly ley lines. It's similar to ley lines in that he's basically thrown out a fishing net across all of Lethuan.
And remember
catch
that
magic.
in the book that you have, the importance of the portals were ranked higher depending on how close to both a highway or Valaga they were.
Okay, because that's where he's going to get the best, like, fucking signal.
You see, that's
on
why
this
I
thing.
thought it was more like. But maybe you're right. But that's why I was thinking it was more like a ley line because they could actually tap them when they were close.
I don't think it's that precise. I think that's why they're looking for portals that are open close to the highways, because that'll be a huge battery for them. Because they got like a much more efficient
See, but the
harnessing
fact
the
that
closer
there's-
it is to the...
So many different holes into us is why I have my big theory about the multiple puncture wounds.
I don't think they have to be exclusive. I think,
because otherwise we wouldn't have so many that we've already run into.
again, my big question is just about the physical placement of the realms.
That's why I'm saying that you don't have to worry that much about it if it's a plane. If it's
No, I get that. I do. I get that. But it's like, I'm just aware that there's realms that should be, again, up and down, left and right, and then kind of going around, right? In the most like basic sense,
In the most basic sense, yes.
which we will call smorgasbord. Whereas it's a sandwich. I'm just trying to work out what is the natural state in Faust's eyes. What does he see as a sandwich? Is a sandwich them in their normal state, or is the smorgasbord them in their normal state? I would say the smorgasbord is them in their normal state, and a sandwich is held together traditionally with a big old pin. And that's why I think the layers are stacked together. But my question is, why can we go through the meat and cheese and get straight to bread by jumping to the Fey realm, the Feywild? Why don't we have to go through the meat and cheese that is the elemental plane to get to the Feywild? You know?
See, that's what I mean. That's why I think it's
You think it's like a burrito?
yeah.
It's the word sandwich. It's throwing me off because And then, okay, Dylan threw in a spicy Cult of Division. So the Cult of Division...
This is officially the longest backstage pass ever, I think.
I don't think it is. I
great.
think it's just the most interesting one. The Cult of Division... Right, so to divide them would be to pry them apart, right? So maybe pry apart the elemental planes so that instead of being stacked like I have in my diagram here, they're laid out like fire here, like a Sudoku board or a crossword. And if that was what the Cult of Division was trying to do, how did they do that? And that's where I think like the dragons and the gods are going to come in, because if a mortal wants to expand some kind of influence across like
What was their thing
planar
they always
shit-
said? What was their little quote? Stop jacking off over there. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Fucking shaking my leg, bitch.
You know, shaking your leg.
They didn't have a specific...
Well, they said something.
Thing.
It was
but they
lots
had-
of oxymorons.
There's
right?
a lot of oxymorons, like unity is like to divide is to strengthen. Unity brings weakness. I would need to pull them up, but it was a lot of like oxymoronic stuff about
Both of those things would hint at pulling realms apart.
they might very well do.
Yeah, that's why.
So again, my big question is just about the physical alignment of the realms currently and where they should be. Okay, the universe is singing to me, but also
Unity brings complacency. Strife brings strength. Discord breeds defense. Division, division, division. Divide them, divide them. Animosity brings acceptance. Torment builds the tribe.
read them
yeah,
out
so-
one by one.
Unity brings complacency.
Unity
Strife brings strength. Discord breeds defense. Division, division, division. Divide them, divide them. Animosity brings acceptance. Torment builds the tribe.
So the big running factor there is like to be together is to become complacent and become weak.
Yes.
So they want to divide and create division and strife so that people get into a fighting mood and are more capable to defend themselves.
I think it's because when they're all together, there's pretty much all the power just goes to one person and isn't spread evenly, because the realms don't maintain their full amount of power because it's all being sapped by one person
Maybe.
or
Or
one force.
are they worried about...
We're the jars. They're the jar hunters.
It sounds to me like they're worried that something isn't strong enough to get ready for something else that's coming. So they're trying to divide to get rid of complacency and make everything up, with its hackles raised and ready to fight. So if something were to come, they'd be ready to defend.
Aliens.
Or is it that like...
I'm gonna straight up say it's not aliens.
Are they trying to divide the realms? Like if the realms are together in a sandwich, if the realms are all squished together, would they be trying to divide them so that it's less easy to invade from another realm? Because if these portals are opening, they don't want to be invaded, or they don't think we're ready to be defensive, it would benefit to pry the realms apart so there's no easy access for an army from another realm or an invader from another realm to come through.
See, the whole thing about unity brings complacency, I think, is the whole thing where, so for example, because they're all together, then God is able to give Jesus all the power in Lethawan. I'm not making this a joke. I'm being serious. The Hootsman has all the power.
You gotta say it not as a joke then. Suffering God.
I get
Jesus into
angrier
it.
every time you do it.
The Hootsman is Jesus. That's how it works. So because the Hootsman is able to have all the power and is able to do everything, nobody else needs to be strong at all.
And if the dragons are the guardians of the realms, because we know there's an air dragon, like you said,
Yeah. And there's a dragon for every god, basically.
and if the dragons are working together, and we know that there's a secret cabal of dragons on Lethawan, maybe they're talking about dividing the dragons.
Because that's the other thing I'm
Because-
going to ask Ayun about is what happened to your dragon? What happened to your dragon in town? Look, I know it was your dragon.
Well, the
What?
Hootsman killed it.
Yeah, but
Certainly seems as if you guys need a bit more information to get anything concrete. I'm gonna also, fuck y'all, I'm patting myself on the back because I think I've done very well.
no, that's just the only story we have. Just kidding. But I just kind of hate that we've spent 3 years and it turns out it's all just Catholicism.
If the dragons are working together, the Cult of Division would want to divide the dragons, because if the dragons are working together, it's going to be
I don't think the
much-
dragons are working
Stop,
together.
I'm on it. We know the dragons
on,
are working
I
together
need
because
to,
there's a cabal.
No. But
Look, I'm on it because he's doing his
but the
thing.
dragons across realms aren't.
Jim's in a mode where he's going to ask me a direct question, and I need to keep my face away.
If we take that the dragons, maybe it's not the case, but if we take that the dragons are working together, the realmatic dragons, and they are keeping all the realms in harmony, the realm of fire, the realm of water, the realm of XYZ,
Until the Fire Nation.
until the Fire Nation attacked, then the Cult of Division would want to divide those dragons and their allegiances, because then that would make it easier to puncture between realm to realm to realm to realm, or whatever. And if they wanted to do that, a good way to do it would be to start killing dragons, which we know has happened. A good way to kill dragons would be to get the Hootsman to do it, I guess, because we know that happened. So is the Hootsman born of the Cult of Division's want to kill dragons, or was he the person they chose to kill the dragons, thereby destabilizing like the link between realms?
I can't.
You can't look at me. And if that was the case, then it's the God side of it. I don't think I've got.
See, all the realms lived in harmony with each other.
Yeah.
Even as one's flying around, they're opposites of each other. Other things are doing their own little thing. That's all in harmony. Mm-hmm. It's not in harmony right now. All held in place.
Yeah. But I mean, that still works to it. That like from like discord comes opportunity. So that's why, like, the Cult of Division, if they wanted to pull shit apart and the Hootsman was like, I'll kill the dragons, that'll destabilize shit, like, maybe they gave him the power to do that because he knew if he got rid of that, he'd be able to then enact his plan to siphon all the power into Valle Ga to take for himself, to claim, I guess, some deific power, which we know there's definitely a void for up there with Lou, who we know that the Hoots force is now having people swear to. So maybe Lou is gone and the Hoots man is the Jesus Christ figure for God, who is currently in Lou's throne.
You see?
No, I get it. I'm just to bring you into my theory here.
This is what I've been saying.
No, I know, but I'm trying to work out how it fits together with the other stuff. Because if he can channel enough power to Valle Ga,
Yeah, I thought I was joking.
he can claim it. He can ascend to.
There's two things you're fully missing, I think, that will really kind of
Bothers the
lead you-
shit out of me that your microphone is always upside down. I can't look at it most of the time we're recording.
Well, I didn't know. You give it to me this way.
There are two things.
You set up your own thing.
Ryan, he was monologuing. We had a monologue.
As you said, there's the whole God side of things. You guys
No, next to nothing.
Next to
about it.
nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Oh, literally, all we know there is that Lou was there, and now he's changed.
Yes. The one thing that you know that's been kind of made quite clear is that Lou used to be a god of like poetry and song and things like that, and then slowly over time became a god of war, specifically of defense, and then has now changed again to be some sort of other boon granting god, which is not that typical. The other thing you don't know is what's all that power needed for Invaliga.
I've already put together my monologue of how I'm going to ask Ayun for
I can't wait.
her to speak to me.
Is the power in Valle Ga to just keep whoever they have on Lou's
I
throne
will
with enough power?
fully say I know for certain I've not given you
Enough info.
enough hints or info for that.
All right, let's call it there then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any life advice from Ryan's dad, or are we like 50 minutes into this and need to stop?
Life advice from my dad was pretty much not what I was going to say, but what I think would fit with this is
Learn about the gods.
no. If you wanna be a religious type, if you want to do religion, make sure you understand what you're doing and make sure that You're not just doing it based off emotion, but anything you want to worship, make sure you know what you're worshiping, why you're worshiping, and what you want to do with that.
It's easy.
That's
I want
good.
to destabilize the United States. Let's go.
There's not even much of a joke with. There's not even a joke with that advice. That was just good advice he gave me at one point.
that is good advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.